Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. So today we are beginning with our part 2 and chapter 5 of class 10. So in our previous session we have started the introduction to what do you exactly mean by coordination, and we have seen how the coordinating system along with the movement, balance and execution helps us to do our daily activities. So if we do not have proper coordination, we do not have proper balance and movement in our life or the actions we do in our day-to-day lives. So today we are moving forward and discussing the topic of integrating pathway, the nervous coordination and also the structure of nerve cell. So the structure of nerve cell is a very important topic as we discuss. I hope you all are writing down the important points and the running notes. So what do you mean by integrating pathway, the nervous coordination? So we have been thinking what exactly is the system present in our body which is responsible for the proper coordinating movements or the actions which we do daily. Now we are maintaining a balance. I am standing on my two legs. I am having a hand movement. I am blinking my eyes. I am talking. So each and every part of my body is in an action, is showing an action due to I have coordination between my mind and my body organs. So that is why I am able to coordinate, I am able to talk. So what exactly is the system present in your body which is controlling all of these things? So in earlier days, the Greek people thought that the brain only was the main organ which was responsible to control and coordinate each and every action of your body. But later, a very great scientist named Galen, who was a physiologist, started thinking about how exactly is control and coordination maintained in our body. How are we executing things? How are we coordinating each and every movement in our body? So Galen was a psychologist who started examining. So one day he saw that one of his patients suddenly got a blow on his neck and he fell down off a chariot when he was traveling. So whenever we fall, what will happen, students? We get hurt and we feel the pain of sensation. We feel that sensation of pain. How was it paining? We have that sense. So finally when that patient fell down, he was complaining. He was just complaining that he was having pain in his hand. So then from this observation, Galen came to a conclusion that the human body has two important nerves. The human body has two important nerves, one for sensation and the other for action. So there will be two major important types of nerves in the body as per Galen. So one for sensing things and other for actions. So in this case, when he observed his patient who fell down, he saw that even though he has pain, he's feeling that pain, sensation of pain, he is able to do muscular movements. He was able to move his hand. That is, he was able to perform the action. He was able to pick a stone from the ground. He was able to do his daily activities using his hands. So the muscular movement was normal. That is, the actions were normal. Though he has lost the sensation. So he was not feeling any sensation because his whole hand was only paining. He was not able to sense any other thing. So finally Galen concluded that there will be two major nerves in our body, one for sensing and other for actions. Though the patient had shown normal actions, he was not able to sense anything which is present externally. He was only having the sensation of pain, that is due to his injury. So now sensation and action, which we call it as the two types of nerves, sensory nerves and the motor nerves. So we have seen what exactly is the function of sensory nerves. Sensory nerves carry signals from your sense organs to your brain. They carry electrical impulses or chemical impulses from your sense organs to your brain, whereas motor nerves carry impulses from your brain to your sense organs. So all this coordination in your body is maintained via only these two nerves. Those are the sensory nerves and the motor nerves. So from this experiment, by observing his patient who fell down from the chariot, Galen gave a very good conclusion based on these two nerves. So as per scientists, until 18th century, people exactly did not know. Okay, people came to know that there were nerves which were responsible for transmitting of signals throughout our body, which maintained coordination between the brain and the nerves, so that we are able to perform movements or balance our actions. So until 18th century, the scientists tried to work on the electricity. Okay, they found that even electrical impulses may be traveled or can be traveled from our body through all parts of your body and reach your brain, through which you can give responses. So finally they concluded, or they came to know, that nervous system, okay, so nervous system plays a very major role in coordinating our actions or movements, or to maintain a balance or control on our body. So we exactly now knew that nervous system is very important. So what in the nervous system is majorly acting for transmission of such electrical signals? Now we have seen that if a small mosquito is biting, you have been learning in your sense organs in 9th class, you might have read that if a mosquito is biting, you create a stimulus is created and finally you give a response. Okay, how? Because the electrical signals or the chemical signals have traveled from your nerves through your sensory nerves, they have reached your brain, and finally they came back through your motor nerves, and finally you gave a response or reaction to that situation. So how exactly is this happening? There should be some unit in your body, there should be some units in your nervous system which are very responsible. So the very important unit in your nervous system which is responsible for carrying the signals from your brain to your body parts and vice versa are nothing but your nerves. So your nerves play a very important role in carrying the signals from your brain to other parts of your body and vice versa. So now we'll be reading about the structure of nerve cell. Okay, so this is a very important topic. Alright students, as we discuss and as I draw the diagram, please keep drawing along with me and note down the important points. Okay, so this is exactly how a nerve cell looks. So if you can see, the nerve cell is a long structure and it has the first division called as the cell body. So this part of the nerve is called as the cell body and this is called as the axon. So the nerve cell is looking in this structure. It has two different parts. First one is this part which is called as the cell body and this part is called the axon. So the cell body is a star shaped like structure and it contains a prominent nucleus. So whenever there is nucleus present in any cell, you can tell that the cell is living because the nucleus itself performs all the functions and maintains the activity of a cell. So the nucleus is located centrally inside the cell body and it has Naegele's granules. Naegele's granules. So these are nothing but small granule-like structures which are suspended in the cell body. So the cell body has a prominent nucleus with Naegele's granules surrounded or suspended in the cytoplasm of the cell. Okay, then the very important structures of cell body which are hair-like structures, branched structures, and these are called as the dendrites. These are called as the dendrites of the cell. So what are the structures of cell body? Cell body contains nucleus which performs all the activities of the cell and coordinates all the activities of the nerve cell. The cytoplasm has small granule-like structures which are called as the Naegele's granules, and the cell body has hair-like projections, and these hair-like projections which are present at the endings of each branch are called as dendrites. So dendrites play a very important role in transmission of electrical signals or impulses which may be carried to your brain and vice versa. So the long, if you can see, the cell body is extending into a long thin tube like structure which is called as the axon. So axon is a long tube-like structure which extends from the cell body, and it is long. So you can see this is the cell body, which is star-shaped in structure. It is giving rise to a long tubule-like structure which is called as axon. So the axon, if you can see, is covered with some sheet, and this sheet is called as myelin sheath. So the axon is covered, okay, with a thin sheet which is called as myelin sheath. So the myelin sheath acts as a shock absorber because the electrical impulses are traveling in the nerve cell. So there should be some shock absorber so that there is no shock created between two different or two nerves which are connected to each other. So the myelin sheath acts as a shock absorber. The myelin sheath also contains Schwann cells. Myelin sheath. So if you can see, there are small cells which are present inside it. So this myelin sheath is made up of Schwann cells. Okay, then the myelin sheath, if you can see, is not continuous. There are some gaps in between the axon. If you can see, this is the tubule of axon, and you see that there are gaps in between the axon or the myelin sheath. These gaps are called as nodes of Ranvier. So what are these called as? These gaps which are present in between the axon or the myelin sheath. If you can see, the myelin sheath is not continuous. There are some gaps present in between. These gaps present on the axon are called as nodes of Ranvier. Are you clear? The axon will again end into a branched structures. You can see the axon is ending in branches, and these are called as nerve endings, okay, or else terminal endings. So the axon ends in a branch like structures. The axon ends in branches which are called as nerve endings or the terminal endings, and you can see small knob like structures at the end of each nerve ending. You can see small knob like structures. These are called as the terminal knobs. So the small knob like structures at the ending of the nerve cell are called as terminal knobs. Are you clear till here? So this is about the structure of nerve cell. So the nerve is a very important system in the nervous system. It is a very important cell which will help in electrical transmission. So various nerves are present in your nervous system. Nearly 10 billions of nerves are present in your nervous system. So we have seen the structure. First one is cell body and the axon. Cell body contains a prominent nucleus, Nicel's granules, and branch structures called dendrites. Then the cell body is branching into a thin tube-like structure which is called as axon. The axon is covered with the thin sheath called as myelin sheath. The myelin sheath contains the Schwann cells, that is, the myelin sheath is made up of Schwann cells. Then we see that the myelin sheath, and at some places of axon the myelin sheath is not continuous. Okay, so the gaps between these myelin sheaths are called as nodes of Ranvier. So these gaps are called as nodes of Ranvier, and the axon will branch below into many branches, and these branches which end the nerve are called as the nerve endings or the terminal endings, which have small knob-like structures called as the terminal knobs. Are you clear? So this is all about the structure of nerve cell. I hope you all have written down clearly what is the structure of nerve cell. Now let us see where exactly they are present. So the nerve cells are mainly present in your brain, spinal cord, and the regions near your spinal cord. Okay, the regions near your spinal cord. So mainly the cell body, if you can see, this is the cell body. So the cell body will be located mainly in the brain or the spinal cord or the regions near your spinal cord. And the nerves in your spinal cord which are present, the nerves which are present in your brain cannot be differentiated into dendrites and axons. So if you can see, any nerve cell which is present in your spinal cord, near to your spinal cord, when you observe it under a microscope, you can differentiate the cell body and the axon. But the nerves which are present in the brain, you cannot differentiate into the dendrites or the cell body or the axon, because there will be numerous in number, there will be many in number. And one more important thing which you should remember is how they are connected. Now we have seen only a single nerve cell. So single nerve cell alone cannot transmit any electrical impulses in your body. There should be some connection between the nerve cells. Now let us see how the nerves are connected and how is the electrical impulse transmission occurring. Okay, so we have seen the structure of nerve cell and what are its parts. So we have seen that mainly they are present in the brain. So the cell body is mainly situated, the cell body of nerve cell is situated in the brain, spinal cord, and the regions near spinal cord, as I have told you. So those regions are called as ventral or dorsal ganglionic root regions, or ventral root ganglionic regions, where it is situated. Okay students, so the regions near spinal cord are dorsal and ventral root ganglions. Are you clear? So these are the places where exactly the concentration of nerve cells is seen, and there will be many nerve cells which do not have this myelin sheath. So whenever there is a myelin sheath covering the axon, we call it as myelinated nerve cell. And if it is not having any myelin sheath, we call it as non-myelinated nerve cell. So few nerve cells do not show this covering on the axon, so they are called as non-myelinated nerve cells. Are you clear? Now we have told that there will be 10 billions of nerve cells nearly in your brain, your spinal cord, and near the regions of your spinal cord. So how are they connected? So you should always remember that the nerves are always connected at the ends. So this is the terminal knob endings, and here begins the second nerve. So this is how the nerves will be connected. Okay students, so you see that end-to-end connections are seen with the nerves. So if this is nerve 1, the terminal knobs of nerve 1 will be connected to the dendrites of the second nerve. So this is the second nerve and this is the first nerve. So how will the nerves be connected in your body in a series? So if this is the first nerve, the terminal knobs are ending the nerve, yes or no? So these terminal knobs will be connected to the dendrites. So where are the dendrites present? On the cell body. So the nerves, the terminal knobs of the first nerve are connected to the dendrites of the second nerve. Now similarly, this will have terminal knobs. Again the third nerve will start, and the third nerve's dendrites will be connected to the terminal knobs of the second nerve. So in this manner, the nerves will be connected to each other in your body. Now this will also be connected to which? This will not be connected to the dendrites. This will be connected to the terminal knobs of the above nerve. There will be some other nerve above this. So the terminal knobs will be connected. So this is how the electrical impulse transmission takes place. Now suppose from here the electrical impulse transmission is occurring. Some signal is moving. It will move like this. It will go to the terminal knob. It will enter the dendrites of the second nerve, and finally it will go. Again it will travel. It will again come to the terminal knob. Again it will enter the dendrites of this nerve, and finally the electrical transmission will continue. This is how the signals are transmitted. Now we have seen that if this is a nerve and if these are the dendrites, and these are connected to the terminal nodes of the next nerve. So you see that there is a connection, and the connection between these two nerves, the connection or the gap between these two nerves, or the gap between two nerves, the junction between the attachment of dendrites and the terminal knobs of two nerves is called as synapse. What do you call it as? Synapse. So if this is one nerve, it will be connected to next nerve. So this gap, okay, this junction between two nerves, okay, the connection between two nerves, or the gap or the junction between two nerve connections is called as synapse. So through these synapse itself, all the electrical impulses, all the chemical impulses will be traveling. So if you can see, there are no protoplasmic connections occurring. For any impulse to be traveled, you will be thinking there should be some protoplasmic connections. Even there is no connection. Even if there is no connection, there will be transmission of electrical signals through these junctions or gaps called as synapse. So from one nerve to another nerve, this is called as a synapse. Okay, so through this junction itself, the electrical impulse transmission will occur even though there is no protoplasmic connections. That strong the electrical impulses are, and they can travel very quickly. So how are the electrical impulses traveling, students? Through the nerves and through the gap or junctions, or through the various peculiar gap junctions called as synapse, which is present between two nerve cells. Now I will show you a picture of nerve cell and what is synapse. Just look into it so that you will get a better idea. Okay. So students, in slide 1 you can see how the synapse is present between the two nerves. That junction of connection between two different nerves is called as synapse. So through that synapse itself, the electrical impulse transmission will occur. Okay, and please imagine a situation where you would think if there would be no synapse, what would happen to the electrical signal transmission? They would be interrupted. So the proper synapses, that is the gaps between two nerves or the junction between two nerves, should be clearly present. Okay, so children, today in our class we have dealt about the integrating pathways and the nervous coordination, and we have seen what exactly do you mean by the structure of nerve cell, and what exactly is a synapse, and how electrical or chemical impulses are traveling through the connected network of nerves in your body. So this is how the electrical impulses will travel. Now whenever there is a sensation on your skin, the nerves are interconnected in this manner so that through the synapse the electrical impulse can be transmitted. So in our next classes we will be moving forward with more information based on the chapter of coordination. Until then, read your textbook and mark the important points, and your homework for today is please draw the diagram of nerve cell and write a short note on the structure of nerve cell. Until then, thank you.